What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B. And we are now currently on the Esoteric Hustler Academy, you know what I'm saying, where I break down some spiritual shit, some esoteric shit, some, you know what I'm saying, things to get you in the vibration and basically put your mind in the right space for you to manifest things through your business, you know what I'm saying? But it all stems from creating a business that's truly, that's true to you. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what it's about first and foremost, is utilizing your natural born energies in order to put things together and create a pathway for yourself that's in alignment with your true purpose. And, you know what I'm saying? Basically, you in a situation where you don't just got to do a bunch of bullshit for money. You can create a system for yourself in order to be able to basically, you know what I'm saying, manifest the resources you need to sustain your lifestyle, but at the same time, like I said, be in alignment with your true purpose and your path. So, you know what I'm saying? Happy new moon, everybody. You know what I'm saying? New moon in Scorpio. Things is getting real. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about it just from a general sense, the astrology behind everything right now, and just kind of get into some, things to kind of keep in mind. I'm sorry if it's loud and shit like that. It's kind of rainy today. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the A. You know what I'm saying? So, you know how it is and shit like that with the weather. Sometimes it be spotty and shit like that. But, you know what I'm saying? I love this kind of weather too at the same time. Like, there's a certain crispness to the air that adds to the energy. You know what I'm saying? And like, so it be times like this where a lot of people might get lazy and want to stay in the house. But I low-key get energized. Not to say I want to do the most, but it's like a mellow energy. And that's kind of what the Scorpio energy is bringing in, you know what I'm saying? It's like a mellow intensity, you know what I'm saying? Where, we kind of are starting to get more direct with what it is that we truly want, you feel me? Like, I don't like that shit. I don't like how people be driving sometimes. People just be on some nut shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, on some nutty shit. Like, why is you doing that? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been trying to kind of keep track of certain things, because you know what I'm saying, you can get into a nice, it's like, it's especially on the road, like, it's so easy to kind of like start picking that little shit. And what happens is, with your state of being, the little shit start to add up, and before you know it, you manifesting a lot of bullshit in your life just simply by being, you know what I'm saying, allowing yourself to get irritated by the small things. And on the road, it just, since you got to think for other people, that's always going to lead to some form of frustration and shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying, that's just a little tip to keep in mind and shit, because before you know, especially with, if you got Aquarius energy, you dealing with Scorpio energy or Virgo energy, Aries energy. Well, Aries don't care long enough for things to get, you know what I'm saying, but like, I know for a fact, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Virgo can nitpick at one thing and take that shit and expand it, and just before they know it, you done spent half your day just kind of going towards some negative nitpicking type shit, when you really just needed to let it go and let it be in the moment and shit like that, and let it pass. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how intricate this spiritual shit kind of gets, you know what I'm saying? Especially now, you know what I'm saying? It's like we at a time where it's like, it's like every moment counts, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to your state of being, because that's what you manifest into your life. So what you invest time into as far as an energetic state, that's what is going to come back tenfold, But this is shit that we already know. So let's just jump into the astrology and shit like that. But, that's kind of what the vibe is as far as Scorpio season goes, because, right now, it is the season of death and transformation. So firsthand, we seeing a lot of things that we no longer can uphold kind of fall to the wayside, you know what I'm saying? And rightfully so, you know what I'm saying? That's something that we should celebrate and allow to happen, you know what I'm saying? The things that's not working anymore, let them fall off, you know what I'm saying? Because they're going to fall off anyway. But if you prolong it, it's just going to add more to the frustration, add more to the complication, add more to the negativity. So for the most part, you know what I'm saying, just with the sun and moon and Scorpio in general, our mind is on transformation. So what does this mean for our business? So, basically you got to look at the thing about business right now is, because, like, you know what I'm saying, how we going to do this is we going to pay attention. We're going to pay close attention to the things that play, of course, where the sun and moon is at, but also the other planets too. But most importantly, or slightly more importantly, where Saturn is at, where Uranus is at, where Pluto is at, these outer planets. And the reason is because when you're building a business, depending on the type of scale you want your business in, you have to know what's going on with the times. And the times we in is best indicated by, with that, where the outer planets are at. So where the outer planets are at are going to let you know kind of the overarching themes of what's going to last, what's actually going to last. Because in a business, in a context, you got to think like, yeah, you a certain age and yeah, you know what I'm saying, we all got to develop a certain market, but within your market, you got to consider the generational gap between your market. So what I mean by that is basically, who are you building a business to last? And if you are, how do you want it to last? How is it going to be able to translate throughout different generations? You know what I'm saying? Because this is something you got to consider. And this is basically just considering the scalability of your business, how far you can truly scale your business and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? How far you can scale it, how large you can scale it, and kind of thinking ahead in terms of where you're gonna go, because it's all about where you're going. It's like a business is a partnership too. So just like a relationship, a business is a form of partnership. It's an agreement amongst. Oh my God, bro! I hate again, like I said, bro. Like you just be on the road and it be certain shit that people be doing, bro, and you just gotta like I said, just accept it for what it is. You ain't gonna be here forever. Boom, 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 boom. But let's get back to the topic. So like, for the most part, like I said, it's another form of ship. Just like a relationship, it's like it has to have a destination. So when you create a business, it's best to create it with a destination in mind. And you ain't got to know exactly what's gonna happen tomorrow, but it's good to motherfucking I ain't even mean to say that, but like when you be doing something and you like motherfucker, like that shit a good filler. But no, it's like, what was I saying? Yeah, it's good to have a destination. You're not gonna know everything that's gonna happen and everything. Like you're not gonna like have it all down pat. But it's all about, you know what I'm saying, when you create your business, creating it with a strong starting point, and then but having an idea of the future, so that, you know what I'm saying, like I said, because what it is everything is predicated on the present, and the present is what becomes the past, but it leads the way for the future. So you got to think in terms of like knowing your overall goal, so that you can do things in the present that are always leading you in a proper direction. See, when you don't have a proper end goal or an idea or some kind of image about how you want to end things, then that's when things can easily get haywire, or you can easily start to make steps that you don't need to make, just based upon you not knowing or having no definite direction and shit like that, as far as where you need to go and how you need to participate in the present moment. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, just kind of getting on to what the astrology is telling us for the most part and shit like that is, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? So some of these outer planets, including even though Saturn is not an outer planet, but also acknowledging what Saturn is at as well. Saturn being in Aquarius, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of all of this stuff is pointing us to basically, it's a lot of learning going on. So with all our fixed energies, it's a tremendous time for learning. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of learning. So that's also going to mean a whole lot of frustration in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? So, we have to kind of accept that as what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Accept the fact that, hey, we are working our way through a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? We're working our way through a lot of changes, a lot of transformations. And through that being said, we have to, on one end, not be too hard on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, not be too hard on ourselves, because right now it can be extremely easy to kind of just start nitpicking at different things within our reality and start to kind of feel down about, where we're at. And, when it comes to this business shit and just life in general, spirituality in general as well, because spirituality is all about individuality. It's like you can't get too bogged down about what everybody else is doing. You feel me? You can't get too bogged down by that. You got to allow what's happening in your present moment to just be what's happening. And so Scorpio is adding a certain level of ability to deal with some of the more hard to face aspects of what we going through. You know what I'm saying? So, that's something to keep in mind, and that's a positive thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a positive thing. Even though the energy in itself might be a little intense, it might be a little extremely uncomfortable, because like I said, with all these squares, and so the squares is coming from, well, it's a direct opposition to Uranus, and the squaring Saturn, and also squaring Jupiter. So what that means off the bat is, considering where Uranus is at and it's square to Saturn, basically what's happening is there's a like that learning process I was speaking of. It's like we're learning how to put the pieces together. And Scorpio is kind of revealing to us, or reminding us of what our true intentions were. You know what I'm saying? What our true intentions are on a deep behind the scenes level. Like, what actually is waking up us up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? What is it actually that's getting me to move forward or motivating me? And what happens is, during your mundane actions throughout the day and shit like that, it's just certain shit that at this point you're starting to not have the energy for, or you're starting to kind of look at it with a different kind of lens. Because like I was saying about Scorpio, Aquariuses, and Virgos, about the nitpicking thing, see, it's not all negative, because a lot of times this keeps those signs in a constant refinement mode, where they're constantly picking things at their space in order to refine it. You know what I'm saying? So while it can start to become exhausting and start to get negative and nasty, and you know what I'm saying, kind of have certain negative effects, it also has positive effects, because at the same time, like I said, it's a certain refinement, and there's a certain like kind of like the way they get rewarded is by actually getting something that's unique to them, that works for them. You know what I'm saying? Because like on Scorpio's end, it's about depth and truth. So when they, like, you know what I'm saying? And this is most seen probably in like Scorpio is energy in general, but like, specifically kind of dealing with Venus, you know what I'm saying? Like, where a Scorpio Venus is like, their love is, it's like, it's not no fake love. So it's like it goes through extreme lengths, and it might come off as toxic. It might seem like they doing the most, but the result of it be something that is truly for them, something that is real, something that can last. You know what I'm saying? And then with Aquarius, it be more mental and unique, you know what I'm saying, shrouded in uniqueness, where a Venus in Aquarius will manifest somebody who is uniquely for them, or a unique certain status of the relationship that only works for that individual. You know what I'm saying? And I can attest for that, because I'm a Venus and Aquarius as well. And then Virgo, it's like the nitpicking, it's like a working on type thing, where they'll end up being with a partner that can actually handle the criticism, but not just take it blindly, but actually be able to build and move forward with something, as far as like, it's like working on something, you know what I'm saying, perfected something. Now, of course, like these signs, it's like, of course, like I said, these all have their negative things, but at the same time, like I said, so the one of the benefits of it though is a certain level of refinement, to where you get something that's specifically for you, that fits for your energy. And that's the truth about everything in this life. There's something for everybody, because as individuals, and when I say there's something for everybody, if you in a situation where you don't see things for you, you gotta, it's like, that's where taking the power back comes into handy. And that's also where the power is in general, is when you create something specifically for you. And that gets us right into what this sun and moon opposite Uranus is all about. And that being the outer planet right now, Uranus being in Taurus, creating things specifically for you. That's the next level of what stability means. You know what I'm saying? That's the next level as far as what is the reality of things. At this point in time, we're starting to see the reason things are falling off in our lives is just simply because it's not for us on a specific level, on a unique level. And that's what Uranus and Taurus is doing. And the square with Saturn means that we have to learn how to take those individual things that are truly for us and make them make sense within our world, create circumstances in which they can become reality. But we have to learn through that. But it's more of a, it's like, not to say a square is necessarily good or bad, because it just depends on what's squaring. But in that being said, you're dealing with the planet of Uranus squaring Saturn in Aquarius. So Saturn likes to be in Aquarius, right? It's home there. Uranus hates to be in Taurus, but at least when it's trying to learn things, it can learn things from Saturn and being in Aquarius that reminded of home, that it can be like, okay, and then take those energies and apply it to wherever you have Taurus in your chart. So where you have Taurus in your chart is where you're trying to create stability through value, right? It's kind of like where you're trying to harness value. And that's why I say uniqueness right now, individuality, originality, innovation is the most powerful resource right now. Being yourself is the most powerful thing you can do right now. It's the wealthiest thing you can do right now. It's the wealthiest investment you can make. It's doing things that's uniquely you. You know what I'm saying? Even if it looked like it's something that somebody else did, if it's something that you uniquely resonate with, go for it, full fledged. You know what I'm saying? Go for it. And Scorpio is going to add the extra oomph, but might make it extreme, like I said, extremely uncomfortable for you to go forward with that, because through that energy you start to kind of feel like, I feel like it might make you feel vulnerable being unique sometimes, like, and that's the natural square that Scorpio has with Aquarius as well. Being too unique and out there, that's not really Scorpio style all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? They like to be unique, but they don't like to be unique and like Aquarian about it, aka like kind of out and talking about it or making it a thing or something that you see off the bat. They more so like to be unique and something you almost got to discover, or something that they so deeply involved in that they exude that energy and shit like that. So it becomes an aura or an essence. That's how Scorpio likes to do things. But for the most part, and that's cool for right now. And so we're kind of building upon this inner aura. So this whole year has been about identity, right? From Aries season up until now, it's all about being like our identity and coming into our new selves in this 6-dimensional space, space of awareness that we in now, where, as far as just like keeping track of conscious shifts and how things have transformed over time and shit like that. This is where we're at, where it's like now we're dealing with this kind of 6-dimensional thing where it's all about creating, like I said, creating that newness, but creating that newness from a the 4 being a higher idea of it, the 5 being the movement and the feeling and the emotion that come from that unique thought, and then the 6 being what we pay attention to, but how we combine it and create kind of like a form or a golem for ourselves that we can then utilize beyond this 3-dimensional world. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? But like, let's anchor it back into business and how this all relates to business. So basically with the business side of things and shit like that, it's all about, see, what's going on is like, with our business, like I was saying, uniqueness and individuality being the greatest resource. That's where the heart of it all is at. And then right now we're learning how to make it make sense. So the extreme uncomfortable feeling that you're getting from having certain desires and then trying to figure out how to make it real, and then how it's like that right there is going to be the frustration. And then the opposition is coming in with those deep desires that we're coming into, the only way to get to those things is through being unique. It's, you know what I'm saying, as far as making it real for yourself. So it's like we're having to face these things head on. So that's a lot of time, that's going to be where the main frustration is at. So as a business, as an entrepreneur, how you're putting things together is like right now is strategy time. And then, the other outer planet that we're dealing, or the other outer planets that we're dealing with, is a trine with Neptune, right? Which is, a benefit because those deep desires are now linked to our dreams and imaginations. Now they could also be linked to illusions. So right now it's kind of like that's the negative end of things right now, is that you might be shrouded in your desires or be picking and choosing the wrong desires to get lost in. And see, you know what I'm saying? The point is now not to get lost, you know what I'm saying? But you might be you might feel the need to overindulge in a lot of different things, basically just being in panic mode a lot of times, because Scorpio is going to entice you to divulge or is it divulge or just overdo, indulge. I think it's just indulge. I'll be trying to make up words with real words, and I don't know. But for the most part, indulge, you know what I'm saying? You're going to feel the entice. You're going to feel enticed to indulge into the things that you know what I'm saying, that you don't want, you really want to do behind closed doors, that you don't even want everybody to know that you getting pleasure from and shit like that. And that could be the very thing that's destroying you at the same time, because I was saying in my video on my main channel, the Dave Beyond channel, that you know what I'm saying, a lot of times we might be participating and interacting with certain desires that is the direct reason why we can't get to the thing that we think we want, as far as a manifestation and shit like that. And that's the thing, we like, because that's kind of the trickery that be happening down here. It's like we be thinking we want certain things, but our actions don't show that shit. So we got to make sure that our actions is in alignment with what we truly want and what we truly desire. And that's kind of taking this energy and putting it more on the positive spectrum for yourself, aka setting yourself up to plant better seeds and not just be lost into the mix. You know what I'm saying? Because when we get shrouded in our desires and then we just picking desires based upon how they make us feel, but not truly about if they resonate with us or are linked to a deeper purpose or sense of direction or deeper intent, aka Scorpio energy in a nutshell, then this is when we just get lost in our own darkness. We end up just wanting to hide away with that thing that's pleasuring us. And once we get exhausted, we don't, not only do we not have enough energy to kind of show ourselves, but there's also a inner sense of shame that we have, because we know we weren't participating in things that were going towards a true direction for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because subconsciously our spirit be knowing when we bullshitting with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Our spirit be picking up on that, and it's easy to kind of just allow that to happen, but not actually taking the action to transform that. And that's where Pluto comes in, the other outer planet that we're dealing with, where we have a sextile. So there's an opportunity to actually go forward with these transformations. And Capricorn energy and Scorpio energy are some of the more equipped signs to deal with life's harshness. You feel me? Like, those are some of the signs that are actually built to deal with the harsh conditions of reality, or what's going on behind the scenes and shit like that. So this season might have you feeling extremely uncomfortable and even a bit negative, you know, or I won't even say negative, because honestly, this Scorpio season has been refreshing, but the refreshing is still shrouded in darkness. Like, there's still a lot going on, a lot of kind of war going on, as far as people kind of challenging each other's mentalities, or people in survival mode in the sense of fighting their way out of being in some kind of struggle and shit like that. And it's starting to get where, you know what I'm saying, we had a lot of Libra energy in the air, but we starting to see the decline of the air. And also, this is important to note too, the North Node is 1 degree Gemini. So it's getting to a point where our spiritual path is starting to become more on the Taurus end, more fixated, and more us having to kind of fixate ourselves on something more stable. But keep in mind, Uranus is in Taurus right now. So as far as our North Node, like, our spiritual path is about to get crazy. There's about to be a lot of movement, but that movement is going to feel, it's going to be kind of like how Uranus and Taurus already been feeling, where it's too much movement on the shit that's supposed to be stable. So right now, money is highly unstable. You know what I'm saying? Security is highly unstable, but these are the things that we are trying to fixate and situate for ourselves and shit like that. But the only way to do it is through uniqueness, and that leads to rebellion and change anyway. So it's this big kind of constant back and forth that we have to get used to and we have to get comfortable with, even though it's extremely uncomfortable. But with the North Node leading there, that's in the global North Node, you know what I'm saying? So it's the global North Node. So it's like, it's starting to get to a point where that's where our spiritual path is right now. It's not where, and if you haven't noticed yet, communication is about to get a lot less fluid than it has been. We've been kind of getting spoiled with all this air energy and the ability to communicate clearly, but Mercury finna hit Scorpio very soon. Communication ain't about to be that fluid, and people are about to be overthinking about what they can't see. So you got to keep in mind right now is a strategy time, and a time to make your final associations, lock them in through Saturn, aka create some kind of reality between what you trying to build with another individual, and keep that shit to yourselves. Because like I said, people gonna start to be overthinking about what they can't see, and it's gonna get to a point where it might get it creates an in conjunction type energy, where there's going to be a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of assumptions, a lot of unspoken expectations, a lot of secrets, a lot of just speaking on things that people don't think you should be speaking on, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be things that should be talked about behind closed doors, and also the people that you communicating with, they might start to get a little gossipy and want to create scenarios based upon communicating things that y'all talked about in private and sharing that with the wrong individuals. So right now it's like, clean up your associations and shit like that. Clean those things up, because you want to make sure that whoever you communicating, when the Mercury actually does get into Scorpio, you want to make sure that it's actually who you need to be talking to, and not just somebody random. You know what I'm saying? Not just somebody who's going to be wasting your time and creating more issues for you behind closed doors and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something to keep in mind off the bat and shit like that. And I've been playing with this motherfucking joint in my hand, and this shit got ashes on me and shit. Like I gotta I gotta roll another one actually. That's what I'm about to do actually. I just wanted to use that filter and shit like that, and I started talking. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's the deal right now. So, keep that shit in mind. But the good thing, right? We do got some positive things going on as far as Mars going back into coming back home. You know what I'm saying? So Mars is now in you got Mars in Scorpio now. You know what I'm saying? Or is it there yet? I think it is there now. If it's not there, it's finna be there and shit like that. And so with Mars and Scorpio and shit like that, that's us when it comes to our passions kind of getting reignited. And so, just to kind of finish up my point from before with the air, you know what I'm saying? We dealing with the last bit of air in the sky before we get into a very watery time, and then we're gonna go into a fiery time, and then we're gonna go into an earth time. But for it's about to get watery, and it's about to get fiery. So you know what I'm saying? The water right now is put in, and this is fixed water. So the water right now is aligning our vibrations with what we truly are after. You know what I'm saying? And like Scorpio is like a low key, it's a water sign, but it has a lot of fire attributes. You know what I'm saying? As far as having a direction, having a bit of a vision based upon how deep their willpower goes, or how deep their feeling is. It's so solid that it starts to become real. It starts to become like a vision and shit like that, and burn through reality almost. Because like that's the thing about ice. Ice could be so cold it's hot. You feel me? So it's kind of that type of vibration and shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying? That's going on right now with the Scorpio energy and shit like that, and with Mars, you know what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind. So that's where the energy is headed, as far as where the sun is at currently, what we're paying attention to, and we're dealing with the last bit of Libra coming out of with Mercury and shit like that. So, right now it's like you might be feeling like you need to get something off your chest and shit like that, but it might be time that you just need to chuck it up to just having to hold your tongue about something. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I said, get your associations right, do the last bit of communicating you need to do, because really what it is it's time to get our hands dirty and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's time to actually dive into those things, because Scorpio season is setting us up for when, you know what I'm saying, when the Scorpio becomes the Phoenix and type shit, where it's like now in Sagittarius season, it's going to be about mobility. So with your business and stuff like that right now, what it is we're all biting the bullet to actually, like, you know what I'm saying, because we've been in the mode to get our lives together and shit like that, but right now we're really honing in, and we're putting ourselves in a position where it's like you want to make sure that you take care of that like I was saying about Scorpio and Capricorn energy, opportunities to transform with the sun sextiling Pluto, and the moon also sextiling Pluto. So right now, since the moon moves so fast, the moon is good for just anchoring a certain vibration and making a commitment to that as far as a motivation, right? But the moon's going to change position. So it's like, but as far as like new moons and shit like that, carrying things off for waxing periods, see, that's when you can create a theme for yourself. And that theme is something, oh my goodness, yo, this bird, yo, check this out. Oh shit, he just dipped out and shit like that. But that shit was cool as shit. That nigga, he pulled up on the motherfucking squad, like, that soul group and shit like that. He pulled up on the squad real quick. He hopped up right on my side view mirror. And I swear it's the same bird because I be pulling up here all the time, and like it'll just find my car, like, but it's the same one, bro. And I can tell because he got a patch right on his chest and shit like that. Yeah, that's soul group and shit. But getting back to what I was saying though, you know, where I put them papers at? Where I put them papers at? Just had them papers. I just had them papers. Where I put them shits at though? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. Like that's what's going on as far as the energy goes and things of that nature. But yeah, it's like the last bit of air in the sky. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's the last bit of air in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like communication right now. It's like now's not even the time to be trying to say too much. Like if you didn't get that shit off your chest in the last couple weeks and shit, at this point it might not even be worth communicating. You know what I'm saying? You should already kind of be in a form of talking to who you need to talk to right now. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it get like that sometimes too. Like, this is also a season where you might be kind of worried because communication with another person has stopped. But at the same time, like, you got to realize that everybody kind of going through it right now, and that, not to take it too personal and shit like that. Kind of take it as like either one or two things. Like, well, it really come down to this. You just need to mind your business. If someone's not communicating with you in the way that you would like and shit like that, it's not something that you need to even get too involved in, because everybody's in a certain circumstance right now where they might not even have the time to talk. You know what I'm saying? I know me personally, I've been so goddamn busy. It's to a point where I really can't I really don't even got the time or the patience to sit there and type to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing personal. It's just that's what time we in right now. So, how all this relates to the business and shit like that is like, do what you got to do. And that's the energy that Scorpio is also ushering in. It's like, you got to do what the fuck you got to do, by all means, first and foremost, and everything else is secondary. And that's the thing about right now. Now it's starting to turn into more of a selfish time. But remember, Saturn is still in Aquarius. So, and Aquarius in and of itself is a bit of a selfish sign too. So it's all about how you go about it though. Make sure you still create. That's why Saturn being in Aquarius, the people you are associated with, try your best to create something real around what y'all doing. So it don't gotta be something so like physical. It don't gotta be a business. You ain't gotta start a business with every single friend you got, but create something real between y'all. Whether that be something real as in, okay, this relationship is real because I make sure, like, it's like some kind of true exchange between y'all. Some kind of reason for y'all to actually be fucking with each other and shit like that. Because too many times we got associations with people who we really don't be doing nothing with. And there ain't nothing wrong with it, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not to say, because I don't want to make it seem like just to have a friendship with somebody or a relationship with somebody, you got to be employed with them or doing something or building. But it's like we get into a time right now where I can't say that that's a bad idea though, because it's just like, what else are you really doing with somebody? You know what I'm saying? And like, that's kind of like, it's crazy how we kind of have like a pre 2020 mindset and a post 2020 mindset. Like how I be seeing it, because it's like pre 2020, it wasn't that deep to have just a friendship with somebody that you don't even like low key like. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you might not even consciously know you didn't like them, but it's like through all your actions and shit like that, you don't be doing shit with that person except for bullshitting. But pre 2020, that was acceptable. Post 2020, niggas ain't got time for that kind of shit. You feel me? Like, niggas ain't got no time to be wasting around motherfuckers that is not on the same wave or actively trying to make movements. Or, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, it ain't got to be so dry all the time, but it can be something as simple and friendly as creating art together, creating music together and shit like that. Like, not everybody be on the same time you want. You know what I'm saying? Other people got other things on their mind. And it's just at this point in time, we ain't got time to be dealing with people who not on our same pace. And Scorpio ain't got the patience to even pretend like we finna, waste time with your ass, or you know what I'm saying? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Because I got my goals, I got my internal passions, and that's what the fuck I'm gonna see. You know what I'm saying? And you could do whatever the fuck you want to do on your own time. But if you on my time, if you next to me and shit like that, we gonna get to some goals and shit like that. And that's basically what the fuck. That's the type of time like the sun and moon is on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of time that we kind of dealing with as far as just like this new moon and shit like that. It's like it's a very like abrupt energy where it's like, look, you know what I'm saying, we all in the deep waters and shit like that, but the truth of the matter is, look, if you not getting to it and shit like that, then I ain't got much to say to you. There ain't much we got to discuss. You know what I'm saying? So it get a little cut and dry like that, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying, like we can all utilize this energy to the better to our benefit if we just make sure we stay down, we stay focused, and we keep it clear as far as what we truly want out of what we're doing. So, as far as business, what I will say is that some of the things you need to consider as you're making your you know what I'm saying, your rituals, your new moon rituals and things of that nature is getting to the core of what you truly desire and how it relates to your business and what you do. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that what you do in your business and shit like that is in alignment with what you it's got to be in alignment with what's getting you out of the bed every morning and shit like that. And like it ain't got to be like, you know what I'm saying, because I know everybody's in different circumstances. So, you might be just having a business and shit like that, but not be too emotionally connected to it. But for this that's the thing about astrology that's cool. It's just a tool. So for the sake of the energies at hand, if you know what's going on energetically, create something to be emotionally attached or emotionally invested in as far as an intensity, to utilize the energy for what it's worth. Even if you don't truly feel that way, you can psych the universe out by just knowing what's going on in the sky and creating something for you to feel and participate in for the time being. And when that thing is expired, which everything does, you'll be in a better position because you'll be able to let it go and move on to the next one and utilizing astrology how it's truly supposed to be used as a tool, not something that is set in stone or like you know what I'm saying? Because people create all kinds of crazy, just, you know what I'm saying, kind of curses for themselves or entrapments for themselves based upon how they perception of what they think astrology is or supposed to be and shit like that. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying, let all that shit go. It's not even that deep, you know what I'm saying? It's not even that deep, you know what I'm saying? But you just use it as a tool for what you need it for and let that shit be what it is, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't even got to stress. You ain't got to stress nothing, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to stress nothing. And shit like that, everything will be smooth, you feel me? And shit like that. Don't judge me by how I roll my joints and shit. Even though I don't care. This shit's smoking. This shit's smoking. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that's how it is, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on in the sky and shit like that as it pertains to your business and shit like that. So for the most part, you know what I'm saying, you just want to make sure, you allowing this energy to actually fuel you and push you in the right direction and shit like that, because that's what it's bringing. It's bringing a certain level of intensity, and you got to be willing to go there, you know what I'm saying, because that's where we at right now with business in general, and just where we at as far as the world, you know what I'm saying. It's like you got to truly, you already should have been feeling this energy of truly being what it is that you want to be, and going for that shit, because Uranus for the most part should have already had you kind of on that type of time where you knew, hey, I gotta get my shit together, right? But now Scorpio just adding that extra emphasis on shit and just kind of giving you also the courage, you know what I'm saying. That's what Scorpio is good for as well, even though Scorpios deal with their own insecurities and shit like that. But for the most part, Scorpios that teach you courage, you know what I'm saying. Like they'll get behind somebody else and get them motivated to do some shit, even though they might in their own space kind of not feel up to do certain shit like that, because a lot of times they be dealing with different insecurities and shit like that. But they'll get up under your skin and see you and help you be great, you know what I'm saying. Manipulate you into being something great, into doing more than you thought you could, you feel me. So utilize that energy for yourself, because that's what's going on in the sky right now. You know what I'm saying? And as far as communication goes, just know this is the time that we about to get into a lot of feeling and then we're gonna start to express those feelings and shit like that. But the thing about Scorpio feelings and shit like that, Scorpios, what I like about the energy, they can transmute those feelings, and that's what the key is as well as an underlining key for this whole transit, transmutation. Because any intense feeling you have, especially if you have a business, that's the best thing about having your own business or doing something creatively that you creating a brand around that you can make stable and turn into your business. Anything that you are receiving as far as an energy, you can transmute it into something that you can utilize as content. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't want to get too because it's easy to kind of get lost in the mix of being like, oh, I gotta make everything content, because it's not at the stake. Like, everything I'm saying is not at the sake, or not at the what's the word, not at the expense of your well-being. You know what I'm saying? Don't turn your life into the Truman Show, for real. Like, don't turn your life into like, everything I'm going through I gotta broadcast, or every problem I'm going through I just gotta transmute it into something practical. That's not the case either. No, you want to make sure you live in a healthy lifestyle, and that you have discernment on the things in which, because it's discernment between the things that you need to get out and do and express, versus discernment on the things that you need to handle and solve and heal from. You feel me? But once you heal, you can use everything as a tool. You feel me? So you can use that pain, that struggle, that frustration as something, as content, or as a reason and motivation to do something, or keep something with the way it is, or an example for other opportunities, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, I just wanted to make that clear and shit like that. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do is you know what I'm saying, I'm actually I came out here to write some lyrics and shit like that, so I'm about to do some writing. But when I get back to the crib, I'm gonna do the tarot cards for this for the new moon and shit like that this week. Getting better with that. You know what I'm saying? With me, I've been practicing my own certain things that I know I need to get more consistent on, or just, you know what I'm saying, just kind of get more straightened out on. And I'll be having my hand in a lot of different pots. So like, I'm finally getting to a space, or I'm putting myself in a space where I actually am organized for once. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm getting that together, that's basically what all today and Saturn day gonna be about for me. But for the most part, like I said, I'm gonna get back to the crib. I'm gonna do the tarot cards, the business tarot cards, and I'm gonna do them for all the signs, and I'll let y'all know when the Patreon is updated as well and shit like that. But for the most part, I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me in this channel and shit like that. I've been seeing it grow. I've been seeing where people just been kind of reaching out and letting me know that it's been helpful, and I'm so glad, because that's the whole point of all this shit. All my channels, the whole theme behind them be spiritual empowerment. You know what I'm saying? And putting you in a position where, you know what I'm saying, we can all take our power back, and we can all eat without having to feel like we gotta steal somebody else's food, or feeling that we gotta, you know what I'm saying, or not share food and shit like that. Like, my channel and my shit is all about, all getting us all to a space where we can eat, and we can come together and truly build something that's beyond any individual and shit like that. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, like I said, also, I'm open for readings. I'm going to put together a formal list so y'all know what the deal is, because now that I got these cards and shit like that, I'm pulling cards now for people as far as like, if you want just a quick read for the current, for current energies as far as regarding businesses, regarding business, like what you doing with your business, and knowing what direction to go. Also still doing creative consultations as well. But yeah, for the most part, that's what's going on and shit like that. Like I said, I'm gonna get these tarot card readings done, and I'm gonna have a collective one that I'm gonna post for the channel. And then like, I'll probably have I'm gonna put the rising signs. We're gonna do the house transit readings again. I'm gonna put that on Patreon. But for the most part, I'm gonna probably clip something up, you know what I'm saying, just to kind of keep the content, because like, it ain't all about just trying to make all that content paid and shit like that. I still want to get the messages out, but at the same time, like I said, it's just the time we in. We all trying to make sense out of different things and shit like that. And that's how you should be dealing with your business, because that's the thing about it too. Like, You got value. There's value in what you do. So why shouldn't people, you know what I'm saying, pay for that value? You know what I'm saying? So, even though it can become a little uncomfortable and shit like that at the same time, like, don't undervalue yourself. If you know damn well you've been doing something for a while, that's the thing about Scorpio energy too, is bringing about a certain expertise. Like, you might start to realize, damn, I'm actually an expert at this, or actually I really do this shit. Because if you've been doing it and you've been planting the right seeds, that's the type of inner confidence you're going to have around whatever it is that truly gets you out of bed. So, and if that's something to do with your business and shit like that, yeah, it's time. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go for it and allow yourself to be that example. But being that it's still Scorpio, it might not be the time to pop out and say that you're doing it on some expressive, fiery type shit. Maybe wait till Sagittarius season. But at the same time, like, and also, depending on your alignments, do what you feel. Because if that's what you feel it's time to do, then do that. But for the most part, with Scorpio, it's more about subtlety and strategy. You know what I'm saying? So setting things up behind the scenes so that it'll make sense for you to pop out when the time comes, aka when we jump into Sagittarius season, which is going to be all about mobility and all about, expression, but expression because you know what you're talking about, or expression because you've been there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's kind of what I mean by mobility. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're gonna allow the present to be the present, and we'll worry about that when the time comes. But anyway, much love, and I will catch y'all on the next one.